The hottest news station on the planet, Hot 702.5 in FM sound, blazing today's hip-hop, R&B, and pop music, keeping your radio on fire, bringing you the hottest, realest, riskiest talk shows live 24/7 on hot7025fm.com.
E-Class Consulting. It's owned and operated by Carice, providing tools, training, and resources that are sure to make you and your business even more successful. We are staffed with a marketing, credit, tax, and a real estate consultant. E-Class Consulting also provides a temporary admin service called E-Class Admins. Want to book an appointment with E-Class Consulting? Call 702-518-3002 or email book@eclassconsulting.com. E-Class Consulting, navigating you to greatness.
What's going on, everybody? It's your main man, 360, the poet from the Morning Wood, and I'm here to talk to you about the Sci-Fi Center. It's your Vegas home for science fiction, horror, and fantasy. From comic books, toys, and posters to movie screenings and live events, they've got you covered. Located at 900 Cameron Avenue, Suite B209, give them a call, 702-900-4335, or reach them at thescificenter.com.
Hey y'all, it's your girl Cheryl Underwood, and you're tuned into the hottest news station on the planet, Hot 702.5.
It's your main man, 360, the poet from the Morning Wood. And are you looking for the perfect drink? Well, you found it. Mimosa Royale is the perfect combination of California sparkling white wine and natural juice that is both tasty and refreshing. No artificial colors or flavors, no sugar added, and it's gluten-free. As the world's first ready-to-drink mimosa, Mimosa Royale is perfect for any occasion, day or night. You no longer have to drink 12 of those seltzers just to get that perfect buzz. At 8% alcohol, Mimosa Royale is the perfect drink to party with. Offered in a variety of flavors and sizes, you are bound to find a Mimosa Royale that you'll love. We have berry, mango, apple, and orange, with more flavors to come. Mimosa Royale is the most award-winning flavored wine that serves in bottles or cans. You can find them online at drinkmimosa.com or find them at your local liquor store. Ask for it by name. Mimosa Royale.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. What's happening, y'all? Wagwan. What's going on out there in the world of what it do's and what it is out there? You hollering at your main man, 360 the poet. It's Wednesday. That means it's hump day, baby. That means it's time to get into some real conversations, some real situations about what's going on in people's lives and how people are handling things in their life. You know what I mean? So that's usually what we do right here on Hot 7025 FM on Holla at the homie. And that's how we get down out here in these streets, right? So basically what we doing right here is I got to let my disclaimer be shown. What's up, cousin? Rashawn Taylor in the building. Always good to have family on the line with me. What we talk about today is I always like to give out a disclaimer, right? I let people know, like, I've never been trained in any way, shape, form, or fashion in any type of psychology, any psychiatry, or anything like that, right? Any type of counseling or something like that. But what I have done is I've lived a very colorful life. I have lived one beautifully. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what we got going on over here. Okay, beautiful. That's what I'm talking about. There we go. You know, I got to always check in with my engineers sometimes, because when you're doing things remotely, then you got to be able to, oh, that's what I was supposed to do. Put up those. There we go. Okay, there we go. Better down. Now it's in. All right, that's what I'm talking about. So like I like to tell people all the time, like, I've never been trained in any of those things. What I've done is lived a very colorful life. And in that colorful life, I've sponged up a lot of game, right? Squeezing it out, back out to y'all now over the airwaves as we talk about things, real life situations and circumstances that's going on in people's lives, right? So that's what we're doing out here today. We always got some good letters, and I appreciate all those who reach out to us, who check in, chime in, tune in, and tap in with us here on hot7025fm.com, on Instagram Live, on Facebook Live, on all the different lives in which we are participating in on a regular basis, right? And because it's up to y'all, it's thanks to y'all that we actually have these conversations, these questions, these things that I get a chance to dissect and break down according to my IMO, in my opinion. This is all opinion. That's all I can say. This is not something that's etched in stone. This is not something that you can say like, oh man, well, 360 said that this is the way things go. This is what's happening. This is what we should do. Yeah, I'll never tell people what to do. I just give you ideas of what can be done. That's all I do. That's it. That's all. That's my whole goal, is to make sure I give you ideas of what can be done. Not telling you exactly what to do. I'm just saying like, hey, you may try this and you may come up with something that may be close to what it is that you're looking for. That's all. So I like to let that disclaimer always be the first and foremost thing that I always let people know when I talk about, because I don't want to get caught in a situation where it's like, well, you told me to do this. No, I didn't. I just said this is what you could possibly do. I said this is something that you could do, not saying something that you had to do, you know? So there it is. There it is. So we always get into these letters that people write us, they send us. And today we got a doozy. We talking about single people at the gym. Single people at the gym are often people that are caught in situations where it's like, you know, is somebody checking me out? Is it just something that they doing? You know, is it something along those lines? Like, is it something that they should feel comfortable with approaching people in the gym? That's what we're asking today. Like, if you saw somebody, if you saw your gym crush and you found out that they were single now, or that they were single and that you didn't know that they were single before, the question being asked today through our letter is, would you shoot your shot, or how do you go about shooting your shot? And, you know, like I always say, I'm never here to, give anybody game or anything like that, but I can break a few things down from time to time and let people know, you know, I still got a little conversation out here in these streets, you know, in case y'all didn't know. You know, your boy used to be able to spit that fire game back in the day, but you know, since I retired about 10 years ago, I still got it in me. So don't think I ain't got it in there still. So that's what we're talking about today. We addressing that, figuring out what's going on with things like that, right? So let's dive into the letter. Put it over here. So it says, "Dear Holla at the Homie, I got a situation that has my heart doing burpees every time I walk into the gym. There's a personal trainer that I've had a crush on for a while now. We've shared a few glances here and there, nothing major, just those quick moments where our eyes meet and I can't help but wonder if he feels it too. Now here's the plot twist. I just found out through ear hustling a conversation he was having with one of his clients that he's single. And now I'm stuck between excitement and anxiety because I want to shoot my shot, but I don't want to come off as thirsty, desperate, or just another client trying to get his attention. Now, I don't even know if he's actually interested in me, you know, or if I'm reading too much into these looks. So here I am, homie. How does a woman make her interest known in a classy, confident way without crossing that line into awkward or over the top? Should I wait for more signs for him? Or is there a subtle way I can let him know that I'm open to being more than just talk by the dumbbells? Woo! Small talk by the dumbbells. Now it says, signed, gym crushing, but cautious. Now, okay, gym crushing, but cautious. I get that. I get how, you know, especially, you know, because in the gym, people just be in their own zone sometimes. And especially if he's like a personal trainer. If he's a personal trainer and, you know what I mean, like something like that, then sometimes you may be thinking a little bit more into it than what it might be. You know what it say? What it say down here? What's up, Dakari Kofi? Who else over here? What up, Sapphire G? What up, Doe? What's up, Portia Duncan? Everybody, what'd you say? Return to the Mac. Yo, what's up? What's going on, Roy Thornton? All my California people, my down south people, always reaching in, tapping in, tuning in with your boy one time here online. But so they're gonna have something to say about it too in just a minute. But my thing is this, okay? Now, if they got your heart doing burpees every time you see this, man, everybody know how much burpee. Would you say she could do a little bit of both? So she can show a little bit of love both ways. Okay, that's one way you can look at it, Roy Thornton. Roy says you can kind of like you can give a little bit, but you can kind of like be subtle about it a little bit. He says you can do a little bit of both. And that's kind of what we're gonna dive into. Like, you know, the homie writes that this is personal trainer at the gym that you exchange these looks with, right? So that's what you said. I'm looking at your letter. You said y'all exchange some looks. You know, nothing too serious, but you found out recently that he's single by ear hustling. First of all, big ups on ear hustling, because that means you had to pause your music, because everybody in the gym with headphones on. If you ain't got headphones on in the gym, you either seriously dedicated or you nosy. I'm just gonna let you know, either you nosy and you're trying to hear what everybody else is talking about, or you seriously dedicated. You don't want any other focus but the sound of the clank, 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 or the machines moving or the treadmill thumping. So if you don't have headphones on, then that's a whole nother story. We'll get into you a whole nother different person. But the person that has their headphones on in the gym and is still able to tell people what somebody is talking about, to hear a conversation going on from somebody that's not even right next to them. Well, maybe they were close enough, but if you turn your headphones down just intentionally, what'd you say, Roy? Do both. Okay, there we go. So like you had to be nosy, right? So big ups to your nosiness, because anybody who knows me, I'm low key kind of nosy. I'm not nosy. I'm just inquisitive, and I like to be in the know. And I'm not nosy for the sake of telling the business. I'm just nosy for the sake of me knowing the business. Let's start there. Let's start. That's the first, foremost, and last things I'm gonna say about that. I just like to know the business, right? What's going on, Natty P? Salute from down in GA. But that's my whole thing. So, like, if you in the gym, they in the gym, and they a personal trainer, you know, first off, let me say, like, you're already in the right headspace, right? You trying not to do too much. Like, you know, that's a good start. When you start off by not trying to do too much, that's where you can have a good foundation to not come off as thirsty or to not come off as too aggressive. Because some people look at that and be like, what you say is human nature. And that is true. That's true. Human nature to be nosy. It is. So everybody's inquisitive and wanting to know, at least wanting to know what's going on in your surroundings. So big ups to you on being able to hear this conversation and find out that your gym crush is single. That was a big thing. You know what I mean? Because you don't really hear people talking in the gym a lot unless they walk up to you. And everybody's not cool with just being walked up to or walking up to somebody in the gym, because you never know what they're in the gym working out. They may be getting off the frustrations of home, from work, or life itself, or they may be in there big up in themselves. They may not be feeling confident enough. And to have somebody come in and break down that space, sometimes it's a little intrusive, right? So not doing too much is the right thing to start with, right? Don't just throw yourself at them, but still move with confidence. Y'all know I'm firm. I'm big on walking with confidence. Shoulders back, chin parallel to the ground, right? I'm big on that. That's how I move. That's how I like to make sure people see me moving in the world. And that's how I like to move in the world. Shoulders back, parallel with my chin, parallel with my path, meaning forward, up and at them. Not all woe is me, you know? So move with confidence, but don't do too much. You know, keep your dignity intact. Like you try, it sounds like what you're trying to do, right? So I get that. But now here's the thing. That's the perfect starting point. But the thing about trainers, sometimes they flirting to try to get extra clientele. So now you got to be, like you said, he's a personal trainer and you've been checking him out. So he knows you in the gym. He knows you in there. So he sees what dedication level you on. So he may feel he like, ooh, if I could just talk her into, man, I can get her in my program. She can become a client. That may be one way he's thinking about it. That may be one way, that reason why he's looking at you. You have to ask yourself these questions. Why is it that this man is checking me out? Why this man looking at me? You know, so is that his ulterior motive? You know, it could be something more friendly, like, or encouraging, like, you know, I'm a trainer. I see you getting it, girl, get it. You know, he may just be big up in you, but him being single, that he may not want to come off as aggressive and interrupt what you got going on in your workout. That's another thing you got to think about. He may not think that it's appropriate for him to interrupt you on your treadmill, or interrupt you on the squat rack, or interrupt you on the Stairmaster. Even though he's looking at you, he hoping that you come say something to him. That could be the other side of the coin. So is he flirting with you for clientele, for the professionalism, for, you know, to be charming, you know, to be something along those lines? Or is he flirting with you, trying to get you to make your move so he won't be looked at as being out of pocket? Or he may not want to be looked at as the thirsty trainer. Like, I'll be seeing you looking at all these girls around here. That's another one. Roy said also you need to find out why he's single. Light bulb, why is he single? I mean, but then again, sometimes they ain't, you know, I get that, but you may not want to dive that deep just yet. You may just want to have conversation with the man. You may just want to see if y'all vibes really kick off the way that you think they would, based off how you be looking at him and how he be looking at you. You may want to see if what you feeling is real. So it may not be as serious as finding out why he's single. You'll get that conversation, you know, on the first date or the first second date or something like that. You know, you'll figure these things out. You'll ask him, like, so what happened with you and your last girl? Or he may ask you, why you single with your fine tail? What happened with you and your last man? Are you ready and willing to expose that as well? So be ready to give out what you want to be given to you. What you say, Dakari? You say it's really simple to get his attention. Show him you friendly with a simple greetings and a smile. He'll start paying attention and eventually strike up a convo. And that's what she's hoping for. And that's what I'm saying. That's one side of the coin. You may sit back, relax, and be like, okay, I know he's single. All right, I know he looking. So now Dakari said, add a smile with it. What you say, Sapphire Guard? You said just walk past, get eye contact, and give a nice, kind of shy, kind of sexy, hey, see how he speaks back. Ooh, that's coming from a woman and a baddie too. Like, so if she was in the gym and said that to somebody, if they said the right things back, then the conversation would be sparked up. Excellent point there, Sapphire. Excellent point there, Dakari. You know, both Dakari says smile. That means, because when a woman smile at you, when a woman shows you her teeth, you know, whether they have whatever they look like, when a woman shows you her teeth, that means she kind of digging you. She checking for you a little bit. I can honestly say that. If a woman really smiles at you like, hey, you know, that's like, hey, what's up? Like, what's up, dog? You gonna bark? You gonna bite? What you gonna do, pimpin'? You know what I mean? Sometimes it's that. You know, if a woman shows you her teeth, if it's just a, you don't get no teeth. If you don't show any teeth, you're not showing any interest. You know, that's just how it is, man. That's how men gonna take it. If you're not showing teeth, then you're not showing me interest. So that is a good one. Like you say, Sapphire. Sapphire, like you say, walk by and say, give us my little sexy, little cute, like, hey, that'll get any man's attention. Like, okay, she trying to see what's up. See, these are different ways, little miss, what you say in there, crushing but cautious. Little miss crushing but cautious. It's a way. There's different ways. There's different ways for you to be able to enjoy this, you know, company of this man without coming off too thirsty, without coming off as being saying like, you know, I want you and I got to. Without having to feel as if, you know, you are in any way, shape, form, or fashion being too aggressive. You know, you don't have to be coming off as aggressive and just to be able to like get your point across that you're interested in somebody. That don't have to be anything aggressive associated with that. My bad, y'all. I had to hit a little do not disturb. I forgot to turn that D&D on. You know how that shit go. I had to turn that D&D on. But yeah, what's going on, Player Made Prince? What's up with you, baby? You know, so just to show a little interest, like Sapphire Gardner said, show it with a little bit of a smile. I mean, Dakari said, show a smile. Sapphire Gardner said, hey, say a little hey with a sexy little voice. You know, because now you get a chance to see if he's really romantically interested in you or if he's just being a personal trainer trying to get another client. You know, try to throw these hints his direction. You know, here's my advice, small little bitty conversation. Nothing about working out. If you don't think that a smile is going to work, or if you've tried that already, if you don't think that the hey is going to work because you don't know if your hey is going to come out right. Like, you know, you may, when we nervous, the voice be, hey, what's going on, Mrs. Contreras? Good to see you on here, my girl. You know what I mean? Like, so like sometimes the hey comes off a little quirky, a little weird. And I get that. You may be worried about that. So spark up a little different type of conversation with it. What I mean by that is, you know, a little human connection. Next time you see him, say something like, look, I always see you working with your clients. And, you know, and that's good. And I don't want to interrupt anything like that. You know, how do you do when you work out on your own? Like, do you work out on your own? Ask him that. Does he work out on his own? Because now you're not asking him in a clientele way. You're not asking him, does he have any free time to take on another client. You ask him, does he work out on his own? And if you've been in the gym lately, you know, it's a lot of couples in the gym. So that may be a way to him saying like, you know, yeah, I work out by myself sometimes and I don't really like it. You know, he may say something like that. I'd rather have a workout partner. You know, maybe it's just because he used to clients, or maybe he flirting and trying to get you to be his girl or trying to be his workout partner. You know, that opens the door for you to share a little bit more outside of the quote unquote trainer role, right? You don't want to always be caught in that, you know, asking trainers a trainer question. Ask him, does he work out on his own? And if so, when does that occur? Like, when does that happen? I always see you in here with your clients. When I'm gonna get to see you in here by yourself with a cutoff t-shirt and not with not with the gym shirt on, not with the one that say the gym on it and trainer on the back. Maybe you want to see his shoulder meat. Maybe that's what you're thinking. Like, that'll give him an idea that you want to see him in. Like Alicia Keys said, I look different outside my work clothes. You remember that? She said that. You don't know my name. You know what I mean? She, you know, hey, this is such and such. She picked up the phone. She made the initiative. She took the initiative. She took the initiative. Take Alicia Keys' example, you know. He put his business card in that fishbowl trying to win something. So, you know, take Alicia Keys' example. He may have a business card at the front desk. Be like, hey, you know, I'm shy. I can't do this in person, but I just wanted to hit you up and say, I just want to know outside of your work schedule, can you work me into your schedule? Or would you even be interested in working me into your schedule? Emphasis on working you. You know what I mean? So try it subtle but seductive if you want to. Subtle but, you know, a little sassy if you want to. Add in whatever you want to get in there, sister. You know, so don't be shy to the point where you think that, what's up, McFadden Amber? Don't be shy to the point where you think that waiting is going to be the answer to checking to see if this man is checking for you. Shyness is never going to lead to that, especially with him being, he may be trying to maintain his professionalism. That's what I'm thinking is that. I'm thinking is he trying to maintain his professionalism, right? By not being too aggressive, because if he's checking you out and he's looking at you the way you say he's looking at you, or the way you think that he's looking at you, then it's going to be a way that you can kind of tell whether or not he's looking at you. Give him a little bit of flavor back, because he may be trying to maintain his professionalism. He's a trainer. You said you only see him working with his clients. You've never seen him working out on his own. So ask him when that occurs. Say, hey, smile at him show your teeth. I said that. I'm going to say it again. Show your teeth. Because when you show your teeth in the smile, that means that you are interested in a man in our eyes, in man think. Women always say, I want to know how men think. This is how we think. You show me some teeth, that means you ready to show me something else. No, I'm just playing. I'm not saying. I'm just saying, but if you show me some teeth, that means you showing me some interest. This is point blank. That's how it is. You know? And that's what you're doing. You know you are. So just own up to that. And take it in that approach. Again, that's not being too thirsty. That's not being aggressive. You know, if the conversation starts to flow after you asking something like, you know, if you say, hey, or if you smile and show your teeth, or you asking when does he work out on his own, not just with clients. That's the only time you see him. If the conversation starts to flow, drop little nuggets, you know, that you open to more of these conversations. So I'm like, you know, or let me tell you, this is a way somebody got me one time back in the day. Well, would you say, if I'm smiling, I'm just happy, not trying to holler at the homie. If you show your teeth to the homie, you trying to holler. That's all I'm gonna say. That's how men think. That's how men think. If you show me your teeth, you showing me you interested in me. I'm just telling you how men think. I ain't gonna say that it's always true. That women, when you show your teeth that you're interested, you may be laughing at something. You know, you may be laughing at me. So maybe I need to go check, see if I got a booger or something in my nose or something like that. You know, that's all I'm saying. What I'm saying is like that, you know. But like, if the conversation starts to flow, but you say, man need to do better. Women just have nice teeth and they're happy. So if a man show you his teeth smiling like, hey girl, and his his grill is either messed up or beautiful, you think he's just trying to show you his teeth? No, he's showing you interest. Because men, we bashful. We like, no, I'm just BS. I'm not really like that. But, we don't always show all our teeth unless we're trying to see something about somebody too. That's just how it is. That's just the way it is. What do you say? 99% of the time, if they always showing teeth, it's a sign. And that's the truth. That's what we feel. That's coming from another man. That's just man think. That's man brain philosophy. So don't shoot the messenger. Just receive the message. So if you don't want somebody trying to holler at you, you ain't no happy guy. I'm a happy dog. I'm a happy dog. No, ain't nobody showing them teeth because they happy. Because I'm so happy. I ain't gonna show all my teeth singing that song. Because I'm so happy. If I only show you the top row, I ain't liking you. But if you see top and bottom when I smile, I'm digging you, girl. I'm on your bumper like a honor roll sticker. But that's another 360ism. But again, if the conversation starts to flow, what do you say to Kari? Hey, you say, wear them yoga pants that account that accentuate your curves. You say, I can see your teeth. I'm gonna do like this. I'm gonna do like this. So nobody see my teeth. I don't think I'm trying to holler. I ain't trying to holler. I want y'all to holler at the homie, not the homie holler at y'all like that. But I'm hollering back. But again, drop little nuggets. Like I'm gonna tell you something that worked on me one time, long time ago, right? This girl was like, I've been looking for like some good spots after the gym to kind of like hit. Do you have any, I haven't found any yet. Do you have any recommendations? And that low key kind of worked because that let me know that she was actually asking me out to a smoothie, but wanted me to ask her out to a smoothie. You understand what I'm saying? So like, 24-hour fitness, Hawthorne, it's a spot, Jamba Juice, really right next door. But she wanted to see somewhere else if I had any recommendations for her to go get her a protein shake from somewhere else. But it worked on me. That's what my thought philosophy was. So drop little nuggets like that. If the conversation starts to flow after you ask him, when does he work out on his own or, something like that. Just don't ask him, does he recommend any workouts for you? Because now you're getting into client area. You're getting back in the clientele area at that point. You want to be able to have this conversation be two adults who may just happen to be interested in each other and have a conversation going on amongst each other, right? And that lets that'll kind of lead you into figuring out whether or not, this is, because if he say, yeah, maybe we should grab one together sometime. Because that showed what I said. I was like, yeah, I know it's a perfect spot. If you want, I'll drop you a pin and we can meet there, because you can't just be picking nobody up from the gym and taking them somewhere, because then now they thinking they on first 48. You know what I mean? I'll just show you share the location with you or something like that. And, we can meet there and have a smoothie together. I got one that I love. We'll see what you're interested in. That's how the conversation can the banter can start to go back and forth. And that's what you're looking for, right? You said you crushing, but you cautious. So this gives you a chance to kind of go in at school speed limit zone. You can kind of go in the school speed limit zone right now. You cruising for a reason, and he knows why you cruise in this area, because now he's giving you a reason to cruise along. He's gonna cruise right with you. Like, yeah, I know a spot. We should check it out together sometime. And that in itself would be the spark of what it is that you may be looking for. Now, if he doesn't pick up on that, or if he kind of leaves it out there for you to kind of like, oh yeah, I don't really know of any. Or if he doesn't say anything like, no, not really. Kind of gives you that cold shoulder, like that cold brush off, and that's okay too. That's your sign to ease up, back up, pump your brakes a little bit. Just be like, like, ooh, maybe he curved me. So, shot you with the curveball, right? Or maybe he's just not that into you, or maybe he doesn't know how to receive this, but that still gives you reason to know that your compatibility, at least in that first initial conversation sparker, wasn't the match for you. And that's okay. That's perfectly fine. You know what I mean? If you're tossing the ball and he ain't hitting it back, it's not supposed to be you're not playing handball, you playing tennis. You need in order for you to have a serve, you need somebody to volley with you. Exactly. And see, that's it, Amber. McFadden Amber said he's not interested in you, but you still have your self-respect. What's going on, Miles Low Music? You still have your self-respect in that regard. You're not coming off too thirsty. Like, I've been looking for some spot to get like a smoothie. You're not saying like, hey, you want to go grab a smoothie? Any place we can go? I've been looking for one. You didn't ask him out. You just said that you were looking for a spot. So you kind of, in essence, throwing him an alley-oop. Now, if he just defends it and snatches it off the backboard and go another direction with you, that's something. But if he take that thing and be like, yeah, we should go together, then now you did the right thing. And if he's not interested in you, then you still have your self-respect. You still didn't come off as being what you're afraid of as too aggressive or thirsty, right? Because the thing about it is, I know I've been out the game for a minute, but the game still hasn't changed that much to the point where, what's going on, Duncan Portia? The game ain't changed that much to where it's like, 360, you don't know what you're talking about, man. These people ain't out here having these type of conversations anymore, but they are. If he's not your match, that's okay. Of course, you try to be on this thing, send me a thumbs up. I saw your request to be on the video, let me know. But let me be real. There's no way to show interest without showing a little bit of vulnerability. There's no way that you can show that you are in. Okay, cool. There's no way that you can show interest in somebody without showing a little bit of your softness, your soft spots, your spots that you can get tagged in, your vulnerable spots. You can't do it, because if you show interest, then that means that you're hoping that the feeling is reciprocated in some way. You're hoping that the interest is returned in you. So you are showing a spot where you are vulnerable. So don't be thinking so hard about it to where you're like, well, I don't want to be vulnerable. I don't want to show any weakness. I don't want to come off as thirsty. Interest and thirst are two different things. They're two different things, yo. You can do it smooth. You can do it classy. But you can't avoid the possibility of somebody not feeling the same. You have to show your hand a little bit. You have to be willing to show your cards a little bit in order for you to be able to know if somebody want to play spades with you. If somebody want to play the game with you. You have to show your hand a little bit. And if they not interested, that's okay. I would love for everybody to have to take some sort of class in sales or some sort of class in public speaking or pitch presentations or something like that, because that'll help you develop a thicker skin when it comes to people saying no. Because one of the first things they tell you in sales is for every 50 no's, there's a yes. So that means you have to at least put in 50 efforts sometimes before you get somebody to agree with what it is you're trying to get them to do or what you're trying to get them to be on board with. So in life, it's the same thing. Not everybody is interested in everybody. And again, nobody wants to be rejected. Rejection is one of the, who wants to be rejected in anything? Not me. But, somebody just said it too. There's class in accepting rejections. Tell them, McFadden Amber. I just said nobody wants to be rejected, but when you can accept it, when you can take that on the chin, like, that didn't work. The back to the drawing board type thing, when you can do those type of things and not really have to worry about, exactly, like you say, Roy, all you need is one yes. And this one may be the one you trying to get, but you got to ask the question or present yourself in a way in which you can see if the interest is coming back at you, because sitting on the sidelines the way you've been doing hasn't gotten you the results that you wanted. And we know what we say about insanity. Insanity is doing the same thing over and over, expecting different results. So you're driving yourself crazy unless you do something different. If you're searching for these results, I mean, you can say, cuff it. Wash your hands with it. I'm done. You can say, cuff it. You know, but you can also say, I'm going in, and I'm going to go hard, and I'm going to go hard. You know what I mean? Like some of these songs that have come out of the last 10, 15 years, albeit I may not agree with the lyrics and the verses, but these hooks be telling the truth. And I'm going to go hard, and I'm going to go hard. They be motivated. That's on my workout music. That's on my gym rotation. That's one of them songs, you know? So you have to have that mantra playing in your head sometimes. I'm going in, and I'm going to go hard. And not give a damn about what other people think. Or not give a damn if you get rejected, because that's a way of saying, at least I got up, got out, and got at something. Goody Mob told us that a long time ago. You need to get up, get out, and get something. You know, you letting this man pass you by. And you don't even know if you know that he ain't got nobody. You found out through your ear hustling. You found out through your ear hustling that this man is single. So now you know you're not stepping on toes. So now you just got to figure out whether or not he's into you the way you into him. You know, like you said, he been smiling back at you, catching a little, well, not smiling, he been catching little eye looks at you. It could be encouraging. It could be trying to get you into his clientele list. You know, and I know that's got you thinking about, you know, what your body look like and all this other kind of stuff, because if he a personal trainer, he sees all type of body types. So understand that. Know that. He sees them all. So don't be feeling any type of way about what you looking like and put that as the forefront of whether or not you're going to step up to this man and say something or let it be known that you into him. Because like I said, him being a personal trainer at that gym, he may not be able to approach you and keep his job. But if you approach him, then that's a whole nother story. Think about that. There you have it. Light bulb come to your brain right there. Sometimes the man at work, him working, him can no say something to you like that. So I have to have a conversation with them and say, hey, just let you know, I'm single, you single. What's up? Let's be plural. You know, I mean, you can say it in any type of way you want to say it. But like we said before, like Sapphire Gardner said, just a hey sometimes goes a long way. A hey goes a long way. So you asking, should you, or you like your question to me was at the end of your letter, you said, so I'm here, homie. How does a woman make her interest known in a classy, confident way without crossing that fine line into awkward and over the top? Should I wait for more signs from him, or is there a subtle way I can let him know I'm open to more than just small talk by the dumbbells? Yeah. Smile. Show your teeth. Say, hey. Ask the man, do he know where to get a good smoothie? See if he, you know, catches that alley-oop and comes back at you, or find out something else about him. You've been ear hustling this far. So now find out something else about him that you can use as a way in, per se. You know? Ask him, do y'all have any like singles days at the gym here? And is it only for people that work here that are single? Or, you know, it's a bunch of ways you can throw it out there to show your interest, to let him know that you single. He may not know if you got a man at home, because a real man ain't gonna want no woman that's got a man at home, to be honest, because we don't like sharing like that. So he don't know if you got somebody at home. And a lot of times men have looked at the internet over and over, no matter what platform it's on, what social media platform, whether it's just out there on YouTube or whatever, like how women are so thrown aback by a man approaching them at the gym. They be like, I just want to work out, bruh. Like, there's so many memes out there for that. So a lot of times when it comes to these gym crushes, the men are waiting for the women to take the first step because of how much scrutiny we've received out in the world about approaching a woman at the gym and how that's off-putting or how that's disheartening or how that's, intrusive. So take that into consideration as well, gym crushing but cautious. I want you to think about that also. Think about that in regards to, like, maybe he hasn't said anything because he doesn't want to step on any toes. What'd you say, Dakari Kofi? Ask for a spot. That will spark a convo. As a trainer, he'll give you some tips. Okay, and that's another one too. Ask for a spot, not for a trainer. There you go, Dakari Kofi. That was a good way to ask. That's a good way to kind of get his attention. Excuse me, can you spot me? And then try to do part of the exercise wrong, even if you know how to do it right. See if he corrects you on that. Because if he doesn't, he ain't a good trainer. I mean, he ain't a good person. No, I'm just playing. I'm just messing with you. You can still be a good person, But the thing about it is, don't forget at the end of the day that you are the prize, that you are the goal. I want you to keep that mentality in your head. I never want, especially my ladies that listen in and tune in, I never want y'all to forget that y'all are the ultimate prize for us as guys. So remember that, keep that in perspective, and your brilliance of your diamond will shine a lot brighter if you carry yourself in such. So it's okay to let him know, like, hey, I'm shining bright like a diamond over here, and I want to know if you're interested, by throwing subtle hints. And like you said, like McFadden Amber said, if he's not feeling you, there's some sort of class in accepting that rejection, to be able to take that rejection in. So don't forget that you are the ultimate goal for this. Your happiness is the ultimate goal for this. Your interest and finding out what's going on with him is the ultimate goal for this, because you like him in that way. You like him like that. You know what I mean? You're interested in him in that way. So it's okay to find out if he's interested in you in that way. Because a lot of times in the gym, I'm telling you, ladies, nowadays, men aren't going to take the first step. Don't get me wrong. It's still some out there. There's still some wolves in the gym that's going to holla, 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 holla. What's going on, ain't Gwen? There's still some wolves at the gym that's going to holler. Don't get me wrong. There are some. But a lot of the men out here nowadays are taking precaution in trying to holler at you while you at the gym. Because we've seen meme after meme, video after video of women saying, like, that's not cool. So one way to find out if he's digging you is to kind of give him a chance to catch the bait, per se. Throw some bait out there. Like Sapphire Gardner says, say hey in a seductive or sexy or cool or beautiful or whatever you feeling in that moment way. Dakari Kofi says smile. And I've added a little cherry on top. When you smile, show your teeth. Because showing teeth shows interest, right? But then again, if he's not feeling you, if the conversation doesn't flow in which the way you think, would you say maybe catch him in the parking lot? That's another one too, McFadden Amber. That takes some timing, though. That's going to take some timing, because if he got clients, or, maybe you pull up and by chance at the same time as he does, or something like that, then that may be another way to catch some conversation out of him. Or maybe you say, hey, and he catch you in the parking lot. He follow you out that way. These are all good ways to, to show your interest and not come off as a thirst trap, and to not come off as being, too aggressive in the situation. And that's what I want people to understand the most. Like, just because you show interest in somebody doesn't mean that you're thirsty. It doesn't mean that. It just means that you have the confidence in yourself and the confidence and how you think they would think of you to actually spark up a conversation. Because to converse with somebody is to show some interest. Because sometimes if people don't fool with you, they'll shut you down real quick. Be like, okay, cool, that's what's up. Great. Okay, let me get back to what I'm doing. People will find a way to brush you off if they're not feeling what you got to say. Hopefully, some people are suckers for the drag on conversations. Some people that they don't want to talk to, they still be talking to them, but those are fewer and further in between nowadays. People are a lot more vocal about getting up out of there, getting away from this conversation that they don't want to be a part of. So again, you can still do it in a classy, confident way without crossing that line of be looked at as being thirsty or over the top or aggressive. Okay, let's start there and remember that about yourself, that you are the ultimate goal. The bottom line, keep it as casual as possible, right? But most importantly, carry yourself yeah, I know that I'm interested in you, but just know that this is a cold piece of work that's checking you out. What's going on, Miss Catchell? Couldn't, you know what I mean? Show interest, step up and do those things. But if he's not, then you can still walk away unbothered. You can still be in the gym looking strong and confident, even if you see him after you shoot your shot and he deflects it, in the event that he deflects it. But if he's checking you out the way in which you say that he's checking you out too, I don't think that he'll deflect it. It'll probably catch him off guard that you said something to him, since you've been sharing these looks for as long as you've been sharing these looks. You said you've been going to this gym close to a year, and you've been seeing every time this man walks into the gym, it gives you burpees. That's what you said. It makes your heart do burpees every time you see him walk into the gym. Ooh, McFadden Amber said, compliment him and then walk away. That's another little sneaky one. Ooh, man, you say something, and I'm telling you, if you say the right thing about the right thing, like if he, for instance, what I mean by that is, men, we love to have our ego stroked any way, shape, form, or fashion, right? But if you stroke our ego in something that we want to be shining in, like for instance, if he always got on some fresh ass kicks, right? If his shoe game is important to him. If you compliment him on his shoes and then walk away, man, that's gonna have him pointing north. What'd you say, Sapphire Gardner? Yes, girl, the compliment. So she over here on Facebook, she complimenting you over here on Instagram. She said the compliments, and I'm applauding. I'm applauding, like, yes, ma'am. That works. It works because men love to have our ego stroked in any way that we can. What's going on, Finny 8? My dog, Ferdy in the building. Coldest artist, one of the coldest artists out there. Dakari Kofi too. I got 2 cold artists on here this morning, this afternoon. But yes, walk by him and compliment him and walk away. But compliment something that if you've been looking at him, you know what he's into. If he always matching every time he come in the gym, that means his gear is important to him. I'm telling you, look at what it is he's put emphasis on. Ladies, I'm giving y'all the sauce right now. I'm telling y'all how to stroke our ego with perfect strike, with 1,000% batting average, right? This is how you do it. Compliment us on something that we are attentive to. Like, I'm a hat guy, I'm a shoe guy, I'm a color guy. Like, compliment me on them things, and my ears is perked up. You say, what'd you say, Madeline? You say walk by him and say, I see you, with a smile on your face. That whoop, whoop. You tell a man you see me? You tell a man you see him? I mean, no, we don't know what you looking at and what you see. So everything we do gonna be perfect. We're gonna make sure that arm is flexed. We're gonna make sure. I'm telling you, this is coming from women. These are coming from some badass, some cold ass women. So listen to what they saying, little Miss Jim crushing but cautious. If you crushing on this dude, but you cautious about stepping up to him and saying something, These are ways. These women, these gorgeous women are telling you how to make sure that y'all remember. Okay. Remember on cartoons back in the day when they smell something good and their body got to floating in the air? That's the same way compliments work for men. It's going to have us floating like from the ear, though, not from the nose. It's going to be like, she said, I see you. Like, what does she see? Or, ooh, man, them shoes. Ooh, I see you with your fresh ass, whatever's on. Man, that's going to make him point north. I'm telling you. What up, Ray Butler? Deuce 4 in the building. That's going to make him be like, I'm on her. Like, she is what she sees what I do. I'm telling you. Would you say you can get him even if you don't keep him? I'm just saying. Oh, McFadden Amber said you can get him even if you don't want to have him even after that. You can get him even if you don't keep him. But these are the ways that you can get him. They're saying it, and I am agreeing it. And Miss Cat Shell said, I'm just saying, be real and go for what you want. Go for it. Shoot your shot. The 100% of the shots you know you're not going to make are the ones you don't take. You miss 100% of the shots that you don't take. Wayne Gretzky said that, and he was the great one. The greatest goal scorer to ever play hockey. He said you miss 100% of the shots that you don't take. So like Miss Cat Shell said, go for what you want. Say it with a smile. Walk by and say, I see you, like Madeline said. Would you say shoot your shot? And that's it. And that's all that the consensus is saying here for you, Miss Jim Crushing but cautious. Shoot your shot, girlie. Don't be shy. Don't be scared to shoot it. You know, remember, it's not about being thirsty. It's about being open. It's about being open. And it's okay if he not feeling you in that same way. At least you did what you wanted to do. You say with a sweet smile. And I'm telling you, smiles melt men. A woman's smile melts a man, especially if it's sweet, if it's genuine, and if it's directed at us. It's going to melt us. Remember, it's about what's going on, Nora Lioness. It's about being open. You know, thirst is when you chase in water that you don't even need, or, you know, when you say, look here, yo, I'm dope. And if you feeling it, cool. If you're not feeling it, that's cool too. That's all you're really saying by shooting your shot. Like, I know I'm dope. I think you dope. So let's get together. And if he don't think you, if he's the fakeness in your type of dopeness, then that's okay. Y'all wasn't meant to mesh well together anyway. All right. So I thank everybody that came on here and gave their 2 cents. Dakari Kofi, Madeline, Sapphire Gardner, McFadden Amber, Miss Cat Shell, E. Kareem, Ray Butler, all y'all that came on and gave y'all peace. I'm appreciative of it because these are just different ways and perspectives in which this situation can be handled by little Miss Jim Crushing but cautious. All right, fam, that's all I got for y'all today, man. As always, I appreciate y'all for tuning in to Holla at the Homie each and every week on whatever platform you tune in on. But make sure you tell a homie to tell a homie to talk to a homie to holla at the homie. And if y'all ever need me, always send me an email at hollaatthehomie@gmail.com. That's HOLLAATTHAHOMIE@gmail.com. That's how you get your merch. That's how you get your letters read. That's how you holla at the homie. If you got my phone number, text me. If you got me on other platforms, DM me. But either way it goes, just holla at the homie. And until I breathe in y'all direction again, take care of yourselves and take care of each other. I'm 360 the Poet. I'm going to holla at y'all in a minute.
Keep your radio dial right here. You're locked into the hottest news station on the planet. Hot 702.5 in FM sound. Blazing today's hip hop, R&B, and pop music. Keeping your radio on fire. Bringing you the hottest, realest, riskiest talk shows live 24/7 on hot 702.5fm.com.